Okay, so now we're looking at question 7 from exercise 5, and what did they give me? They gave me a parabola, and it is in the format that I can read off the turning point. I can work out A, B, and C because that's the y-intercept, the x-intercept. I can even get coordinates for E because I can read it off the formulas. E is my turning point, and then that means I can get D as well. But let's see what the questions asked. So they ask me to find out the length of OA, which means I need to work out the y-intercept. Make x 0, so I'm going to have 0 minus 3 squared minus 1. That's 9 minus 1. A will have coordinates of 0 and 8. Then they ask me to work out the length of OB and OC. So that's 1 and 2, well 2 and 3 basically. So I can say that to get my x-intercepts I need to make y 0. So 0 is equal to x minus 3 squared minus 1. That is a quadratic formula. You can either move the 1 over, or you can spot that this is a what? Difference between squares. So I can factorize that. So I can say x minus 3 will go into the first bracket, and x minus 3 will go into the second bracket, plus 1 in the one, minus 1 in the other. So 0 is equal to x minus 2, x minus 4. That means x is 2 or x is 4. Therefore, I can say the distance for OB will be 2 units, which means I can solve question 3, which is OC, which is 4 units then. Right, so determine OD. So D is in line with E. Now E is my turning point, and E I can read off the graph is 3 and negative 1. That means D will share the same x value because they are in the same line. So D will also be at 3. So OD is going to be 3 units, and D is on the x-axis, so it's 0. And then they want to know what is the distance from D to E. Well, 0 to minus 1 means DE will have a distance of 1 unit. Right. Then they say determine the defining equation of the straight line of G. Now, when I look at G, I have point A, which I found is 0 and 8, and I have point C, which is 4 and 0. And using that, I can work out the change in y. So 0 minus 8, 4 minus 0, so minus 8 over 4, I've got a gradient of negative 2. So y is equal to negative 2x, and I already know that my y-intercept is 8. So g of x will be minus 2x plus 8. See, they asked me to find the x, if the x-coordinates of f is 1, find. Now, what does that mean? H, G, and F are all in the same perpendicular or same vertical line, which means each one of them, H will have an x-coordinate of 1, G will have an x-coordinate of 1, and F is 1 and 0 because that's on the straight or on the axis. Now G I find is on the parabola, which means I can work out the y coordinate. if I know x is 1, I will have 4 minus 1 is 3. So G will be 1 and 3. Therefore, FG will be 3 units. H, I know, is on the straight line. And I just said the straight line is minus 2x plus 8. So if I have minus 2 times 1 plus 8, it works out to be 6. So from F to H, I will have 6 units. And then they ask me what is the distance from H to G. So H to G is 3 units. Right, and then KL, if the coordinates of I here, once again, the same thing. So K will share a point, x coordinate. I will be 5 and 0 because that's on a straight line. And L. Okay, so that means I can work out K's y value because that is on a parabola. L is on a straight line, like we did in question C. Or I can say KL will be the top. Now the top is the parabola minus the bottom, which is the straight line. So the top minus, please remember to add your brackets, but x is 5. So KL will be 5 minus 3 is 2, that's 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3 minus, that's minus 10 plus 8 is negative 2, and a minus is a plus 2, so KL is 5 units. Right, fantastic. That's the answers for question 7.